Good morning everyone. For today, we will discuss about the concept of wave-particle duality and evidence providing light as wave and as particle. But before that, let's briefly discuss about the history of light. In 1676, Romer said light has a finite speed, but what is it? 2 years later, Huygens claimed light is a wave. However, year 1704, Isaac Newton claimed light is a particle, and after that, year 1803, Thomas Young carried out an experiment called the Young-Stock still. Herschel Kirchhoff rejects the idea that light sends away, and Planck proposed the idea of photon, which is light energy in discrete units, and then Einstein said, if wave supplemented and particle supplements, and light must have momentum, hoping less street lights arts with it, and came up with a scattering experiment. After we briefly discuss about history of light, let's define what is wave-particle duality. Wave-particles duality is a phenomenon where waves can exhibit particle vice versa. This can only be shown using quantum physics, which is theoretical basis of modern physics that explains the nature and behavior of matter and energy on the atomic and subatomic level. Let's see the wave model of light using Young's double slit experiment. When light of a single wave, the known as a monochromatic light, enters a lot of sleep, we tend to see constructive and deconstructive interference. As we graph the intensity of the wave against time, we see a peak in intensity at the point corresponding to a bright range. This would be the areas of constructive interference. In regions where there are dark fringes and zero intensity areas, there will be a destructive interference taking place. The formula in constructive interference is d sin theta is equals to m lambda, and in destructive interference is d sin theta is equals to m plus 1/2 multiplied by lambda. As we see in the diagram, we see that the swiftiness in distance d and the angle between the normal and the light radius teaser, hence the path difference will be d sin theta between rays on 1 and 2. So now we will talk about the evidence from quad-core nature of light. The photoelectric effect provides evidence for this. When light shines on the filament connected in a circuit, we can measure a circuit flowing on the answer even though the circuit is not completely connected. This can be only explained by the photons noting electrons up with mainland causing them to turn them to the collector plate. Hence, flowing current. This process is explained by the photoelectric equation. K is equals to HF minus pi. But what is pi? Pi is known as the work function, which is the minimum energy required to knock an electron off an item from the metal filament. If we plot over alpha kinetic energy, as in frequency, we can see that the kinetic energy is 0 when the frequency of the photon is below a threshold frequency f. Note, so the work function at this point is equal to the Planck's constant multiplied by the threshold frequency. So, light is a wave or a particle. The interference from Young's double slit showed it's a wave, but the results from the photoelectric effects shows us the evidence that light is a particle, so that we can say light behaves as both a wave and a particle.